Coach Deborah has a passion and purpose to assist young men, ages 15 to 24, to overcome obstacles and build their best lives. She wants to see every young man live out their potential. She has a master's degree in human services counseling, with a major in life coaching. More importantly, she is the mother of 3 boys, who are exceptional, educated, professional men. Coach Deborah believes it is better to train early, rather than need to fix later. She utilizes basic principles and God-led concepts. Sometimes the only thing a young man has is their credibility or their name. The actions they take are based on the decisions they make. Those decisions align with their choices and result in consequences. Coach Deborah can assist you if you are lost, floundering, or confused. Embrace the help and start building your best life today.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Saturday and welcome to Saturday Morning Real. I'm Coach Deborah and I'm so happy to have you here and excited to get started with the month of March. Can you believe it is March 2nd already? Well, it is. And as we go through this year talking about Blueprint for Success, all this year, we will be talking about that theme in one way or the other. For the month of March, we are focusing on a blueprint for ethical living. A blueprint for ethical living. Hey, who does not want to live in an environment where everything is fair, no bias, no one going against the grain, but everyone treating everyone as they should? Hey, let's be ethical. So that is our theme for this month. And I am excited today to talk about our topic for the first topic for March. But before we get started, I do want to take this opportunity to thank you so much for supporting Build Your Best Life. Without your prayers, your likes, your comments, your shares, we would probably not still be here. So thank you so much for all that you do in support of Build Your Best Life. This morning, our topic is they. They. You know they. You never heard of they? Well, let me tell you about they. You know, most people are familiar with the term, well, so-and-so and so, well, they said. And then the person you're talking to, somebody, they said, who is they? You know they. Well, today, the they is society. It's a lot of people, everybody around. They, them, those people, they. So, you know, normally when somebody is saying something to you and they say they're really saying it, but they're saying they said. But no matter how much change has occurred over the world over the last even several centuries, today's world is still far from perfect. Equality is not something that you are going to always see. You're just not. People should be able to feel like that they can live freely as long as they are not posing danger to themselves or to others. There should be no bias based on age, sex, race, nationality, or any other term society wants to throw in there. There should be no bias. However, many, especially people in certain countries, those with certain political beliefs, some races are not deemed equal. And so they are treated adversely, which is certainly not fair. And if you've never been there, then you have no idea what I'm talking about. But if you have ever dealt with any type of bias, then you can relate to they, what they say, what they do, how they treat you. For the people that fall outside of the powers to be, should I say they, have to sometimes walk a thin line. Well, mothers, you know, a lot of you out there are raising your children on your own. You have to try to be mom, you have to try to be dad, you have to try to keep up with your own age group, your generation, as well as keep abreast of what's going on with your children's generations, the slang, the risky behaviors that are going on, all these things. And then you have to talk to your kids. You know, if you have males that can step up and be in your son's lives, that's wonderful, because there are some things moms don't know. But if you don't have anybody, you got to put on your big girl pants and everything else, step up, do some real talk, be transparent, and talk to your sons, woman to man. You have to do that. And sometimes you have to explain some things to them that they just don't understand. Why can't I talk this morning? But they just don't understand. Our younger generation, especially the teens and young adults, want to know why when you ask them or tell them, well, I know you're getting older. I know you're an adult, but when you're out there, don't forget, you have to act a certain way. Well, why do I have to act a certain way? Nobody's better than me. I'm a human. Why can't I just be me? Well, because, choices have consequences. And I just stated, we live in a world that still has a lot of bias. Therefore, you have to be proactive in, if a situation pops up, how do I react? You may not be able to react like some of your peers. So that's why you have to know who you are, where you come from, what you look like, and then I know I am just as good as everyone else. However, based on today's society, I know some things I can do and some things I can't do, and some things I have to watch how I do them. So it is my passion to see our young men overcome obstacles and build their best lives. And I also want to see them be able to reach adulthood, middle age, older. And some things you just have to do. I've lived through raising a son by myself, and the circumstances that popped up and things I told him he could and could not do, or in this situation, this is how you act or react. And so I'm going to go over some of those today because, quite frankly, moms, even though that was almost 50 years ago, it has not changed much. So I hope that some of the information that I give you today will, if it doesn't help you, it'll make you say, aha, never thought of that. But that's right. And then pass this on. Have some of our young people to listen, because it could save their lives. Yes, that's how deep and transparent I'm going to go today. And for those of you who might have just stepped up or stepped in, I'm talking about they, how they see you, how they expect you to react, how they're going to treat you. And then you have to know who you are. And the first one I want to talk about is your vehicle. More and more of our young people have the benefit of, if they don't own their own cars, they are able to drive one of the family vehicles. And one thing I want you to do is make sure that that vehicle is decently clean. And you're probably thinking, what does that have to do with anything? Well, think about it. If you got food bags and cups and different things around and you're stopped by law enforcement, what are they going to think? Are you homeless? Is it your car? Where'd you get it from? If you have to look for your license or something, do you have to dig through the trash to try to find it? This is why I'm saying make sure that the car is decent. And then, even if it's the family vehicle, you just get to drive it sometimes. For your safety, make sure you know where the registration is, where the insurance information is. It is supposed to be kept in the glove box. But how many of you know some of the glove boxes are stuffed full of stuff? If you get stopped, do you have to dig in there? Might someone think you're digging for something that you're not digging for? So it would behoove you, and that's moms, dads, middle-aged, young people, everybody, have your registration and your insurance information on the top. If you don't want to put it on top, put it on the very bottom or on the side, but where you can just, I'm reaching for my registration, and tell them where it is, and you reach in that one spot and you pull it out. And be able to do that. A lot of your insurance information, a lot of people keep them on the phone now. This is my phone. I'm going to pull my car registration up on here, or my insurance information, or whatever. But keep that information where you can get to it. That's one time you don't want to be missing and won't have to dig through stuff. Okay? The second one is know where your license is. Where is your license? You don't want to have to dig for it. I know some of you like to, throw your wallet in your gym bag, or you got a wallet that's all messy. You put the money in, you might have a debit card and license, and you got all that together, so you got to dig. You don't want to do that. Have your license in a slot somewhere where you can see it. Most wallets have a place for you to put your license. If you do, put them there so you can say, I'm getting my wallet so I can get my license. You can say it, you can reach and pull it right up. You don't have to start digging, because again, if you start digging, somebody might get happy and want to know what you're digging for. So be mindful. Where are my license? Do I know where my license are? That's a good question to ask. Okay. I'm going to leave the car for a moment. I'm going to go over to social media. Now, this may not so much impact you based on bias or whatever, but social media. Sometimes if I have a minute to go out there and I see some stuff, I'm like, why would somebody put that on social media? Why would you want to tell somebody your personal business like that? You never know who is looking at your social media page, what they take from that. And I don't know if everyone knows this. Most people should, but your employers, they look on social media. You got people that call in all the time. They'll say that they're hurt, they're out on disability. Your employers go out on social media to see if they can see you out dancing or bungee jumping or whatever you're doing when you're supposed to be out on disability. Are you out doing something when you're supposed to be homesick? If you're out saying all types of things on social media, or you might be bashing your boss, people can see that. Why would you want to put that out there? Just think about it. I was going to say, don't put anything out there you wouldn't want your parents to see, but some of you, I don't think, care if your parents see this stuff. But that goes for, again, my young people as well as our older people. All age groups put things out on social media that's just like, really? You just put that out there, right? So everybody's business is not everybody's business. So you just should be mindful of what you're putting out there. So I thought I would add that into the mix. Okay. Here's one. And my son, he used to just look at me when I would tell him this one. Son, when you go out in the car, never have more than, I prefer you only have one friend in the car at a time. But if push come to shove, you can have two. And you might say, well, they might be an SUV. They have bigger cars now. Why can he only have one or two friends? Because they may see a car full of hard heads, young men with hoods on their heads, or whatever, and they may want to just stop them to see what's going on. They would, back in the day, even before they started wearing the hoods on their heads, if they saw 2 or 3 or 4 in a vehicle, well, let me just stop them. They must be up to no good. So again, we're saying this stuff is not fair. You should not have to do certain things, but if it comes to saving your life, it is worth it, right? I think so. I mentioned hoods. I would be, if my sons were younger, they would have to be mindful of where they went and had a hood on their heads, where they wore hoods. Because yes, it might be cold. That might be why you have a hood on it. But sometimes, it's just a style. It's what the guys do. I know that. I understand that. But do they? Do they understand? Oh, it's 95 degrees out. Why he got the hood on his head? He's up to no good. So I know I mentioned it to my son about my grandson. He's like, well, when you tell them, they might take it off while they're around you, but then they're going to put it back on. Okay, if that's how you feel, but I feel some kind of way because I know I see things on the news, whether I'm looking for it or not. I know what can happen, so I would prefer not put it on your head and just ride with your buddies for someone to say something to you or stop you. Anything that gives you a greater percentage of being able to come back home to me, I'm all for it. So again, it's not whether it's right or wrong, but it's about your safety, keeping you safe and bringing you back home, right? Okay. And I'm going to end with this one, but this is of my building materials. For those who may be new, I have 5 building materials here at Build Your Best Life. And the very first one is your associates. Your associates who can really make or break your life. So you must be mindful of who you have around you. You are who you have around you. So who are your associates? They the jocks because they're cool and you want to be cool? Are they the ones that get all the attention? Why are they getting attention? Are they the ones that are really, really smart? Are they the ones that have already applied for school, that already have their credits to graduate? The ones that are in the organizations and making a difference in the school? Are they the ones that are slacking off? Are they the ones that are pulling halts and doing all types of risky behaviors? Are they the ones that are in gangs and want you to join the gangs? Who are your associates? Who are you hanging with? Did you ever ask yourself that? Why is Joe my friend? Why is Chris my friend? Why is Lamar my friend? Why is Jermaine my friend? Why is Devin not my friend? Why don't I ever hang out with Jeremiah? Do you ever ask yourself that? Are you trying to fit in with the crowd, no matter what they're doing, whether it's right or wrong? Is that what you're trying to do? Guess what? It's better to stand out rather than try to fit in. You want to hang with people that that have the same mindset, the same aspirations as you. Now, if you don't want to be anybody, you don't want to do anything, you don't care about being successful, doing well in school, whatever, then hey. But I would hope the majority of you that may hear this whenever, today, a month from now, 3 years from now, that you want to have a successful life. You are creating your blueprint for success. You read. You learn new words. You're trying to make sure that you're financial literate. You're trying to do all those right things that are going to make you successful in life. And if so, you want to hang with those same type individuals. That's key in being successful. So think about that. As I talk about being with associates, you're leaving a game. You don't drive. Some guys you may be friends with them, you might be associates with them, or they may just be your peers in the same grade. Hey man, you want to ride? Sure, yeah. You just jump in. Do you know them that well? Do you know if they smoke? Do you know if they mess with a little recreational drugs? Do you know if they sell drugs? Do you know if they do underage alcohol drinking? Do you know if they like to rob people? Do you know if one of them is a rapist? Do you know anything about the people that you just jumped in the car with? Don't look at me in that tone of voice. That's a good question, because guess what? If someone in that car is delving into any of those things that I just mentioned, and you get stopped, or while you are performing while they are performing that activity, and you are in that car, and they get caught, guess what? They not gonna say, who in here is guilty? Well, all of y'all doing it? Oh, you weren't? Okay. You two were. No. Everybody, let's go. Everybody's going down. Not one, everybody. And if you listen to people, there are a lot of people that are on social media for the right reason. They've been there, they've done that, and they're trying to help. They will tell you, hey, people not only will get you in trouble because you're hanging with the wrong ones, but if caught, they will say, oh, it was him. It wasn't even me. I was just I was just in the car. I asked them for a ride. I mean, he asked me for a ride. I gave him a ride, and I didn't know he was doing all that. It wasn't even me. They will set you up. They will lie. Anything to get out of it. So again, you see that word up on the screen? Associates. And I'm going to close with this one. It's still about associates. You cannot trust everyone. You cannot trust everyone. I found that out the hard way. No, I didn't get in any trouble per se, but being around people who I thought were my friend, and then seeing the types of things that they were doing and how they had no problem harming their friends with the things that they were doing. Try this, it'll be okay. And because probably my mama would have killed me, I had sense enough to say no. Even though I was an adult, I still would say no. Some of the friends would say, oh, okay, I'll try it. And then I thought, oh, but you're supposed to be our friend, and you would set us up like that to try something. And try something you may think is harmful, but it might not be. Because, and it's a little example, and I'm not just going to go all into it, but it was supposed to be a friend. They had something they like, try this. I have no idea what it was. I mean, I saw it, but I didn't know what it was. And I was like, no thanks. My other friend, she did. She passed out. When she came to, she was just like not like with it. I tried to get her not to leave. She got in the car and left. I searched and searched and searched for her. I couldn't find her. I was so worried about her. And she said she made it to a friend's house. She don't know how she did that. And that friend just bathed her down with a cold bath, cold showers or whatever. And it took hours for her to get back to herself. But that was a friend getting her to try something. So please, 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 please be careful who you associate with. They are not always good for you. Be careful of they. Okay? So moms with sons out there, other moms, young men, I hope something that I said this morning has stuck. And it didn't go in one ear and out the other, but you will heed to what I said and pass it on to your friends, not forget it, because it is important. I'm here to help. So thank you for being here and for listening to me this morning, because you could have been anywhere else. So I really appreciate it. Please, please, please tune in Tuesday for Blueprint with Success. My special guest is going to be Nathan Roll. He is DJ counselor from the Bahamas. He is well known there, but he works with youth. He's just phenomenal. I can't wait. So please join in. That is Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And our topic is going to be You're in Charge. You're in charge. Remember, we're talking about having a blueprint for ethical living this month. So please make sure that you tune in on Tuesday if you can. If not, make sure you catch it on the rewind. Again, thank you so much for tuning in this morning. I greatly appreciate it. I love, love, love you so much. Remember, this year, Build Your Best Life is declaring Jeremiah 29:11 over your lives. Why is that? Because God knows the plans that He has for your life. And that's for what? That you have prosperity. Put that in the comment section. For you to have prosperity. And He also wants you to have the future that you hope for. The future that you hope for. So make sure that you design your blueprint based on the plans that God has for you, and then follow them. You got to follow them. You can't just have that blueprint and don't do anything with it. You can't just listen to God and get that plan, and you have to follow it. So please remember to do that. Remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan. It's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. Enjoy your weekend. Have a wonderful day at church. Be blessed. Bye-bye.